Happy to be joined by Nanda Gupta and Garth DeAngelis, both of the XCOM team. Here, we're going to get to in a second, talk about the new expansion for XCOM. But at first, I want to kind of get your thoughts now that Enemy Unknown has been out in the wild for a while. I think you realize you got a very warm reception, both critically and it looks like commercially, which I think was just awesome to just sort of see turn-based strategy make it to a console and really connect. I want to get your thoughts about sort of how you feel now that it's out there.
It is. It's super exciting. It's well documented. We talked about a very long development cycle to create Enemy Unknown, and like you said, from day one we knew this is a huge creative risk for Firaxis as experts in strategy, but also the publisher to even greenlight a turn-based game, modern on consoles, not just PC. And to see it get the reception it did is just so awesome for the team and all the time that went into it. But yeah, I mean, you have those moments leading up to post-production where you're like, is this going to work? And to see that payoff, it's been super cool for the team.
So there's a new expansion, yes. Enemy Within. What, I guess, are you expanding on? I mean, you do have a very, very solid foundation. Where do you get to go and how do you get to play with Enemy Within?
The fan reaction, as you mentioned earlier, has been really positive. And yet, in general, what fans tend to say they want is more stuff. You know, they want more maps, they want more classes, they want more abilities, they want more soldier types, they want all these things. And we said, that sounds good. So with Enemy Within, sort of the unifying theme is the idea of we're introducing this new technology called MELD, and with it you can research and engineer new technologies that sort of invade your soldiers' very beings in the way that the armor and the weapons in the original game did. So, for example, alien autopsies will unlock genetic modifications that you can use. You can apply to the eyes, the brains, the chest, the skin even of your soldiers, and give them new abilities that are on top of all their old class training. Or if you want to completely change a soldier's class, we now let you transform soldiers into a mech trooper and outfit them in this giant robot suit, this sort of cyber suit. Mech stands for mechanized exoskeletal cyber suit. And that,
or mech.
Or mech. That's right. Or it could go with mech. And so that class has its entirely new training tree, as well as a new weapon progression. They get this giant minigun and the railgun, and they get some great stuff. And then the suit itself also has its own upgrade paths. So there's a flamethrower, there's proximity mines, there's a kinetic strike module, which is a nice dry-sounding name for a great big fist that you can punch berserkers in the face with. So we decided to kind of give you this dual approach and let players decide how to use this new resource.
Now, is it a very kind of, is there a clear black line? Like, you either go genetic or you go mech, or can you do a mix and match?
You can mix and match.
Oh wow!
You can mix and match. But if the more you mix and match, the less deep you'll be able to go into either one.
That's right. Which is what I'm actually doing. And well, let me just first say, if that sounds awesome, everything he's saying, mechs and power fists, it is. I've been able to play it a lot, and it is pretty incredible to get these new goodies. And in my playthrough right now, I'm actually doing that approach of let me try to not master either one path, but invest time in both gene mods and mechs, and get a little sprinkling on the gene mod side and these really cool abilities, and have maybe one or two mechs as opposed to a full squad of mechs. And it's pretty fun. I'm getting a taste of both.
I was about to ask, in terms of balancing, if I can have a big fist that I can punch an alien in the face with, maybe make him go fly across the room, why am I not going to have an entire squad of that? Because that sounds awesome. What's kind of the yin and yang here?
So the resource is MELD, right? We're introducing a new resource that you have to recover from most of the mission types. It's stored in these canisters that have self-destruct timers on them, and you need to grab those canisters before they self-destruct if you want the MELD. And so in this way, not only are we introducing a new resource that you can use for these new technologies, but we also are giving you a reason maybe to not play quite as conservatively as expert players have gotten used to. Now, if you really want to get into those into that new stuff, you might have to take some risks that you're not accustomed to taking.
That's pretty easy.
I was about
I'm
to say.
experiencing that right now, and it's an amazing feeling because I got very much in the mold of move and Overwatch. Never dash if it's your last unit because you don't want to pop an alien pod in the last move. But you can't do that anymore because there's really interesting decisions on the front now where you know you want this meld to build these awesome goodies that you found back at base. Do you split your squad to go and get this canister that's about to destruct in 2 turns? Or do you let it go because you don't want this guy to die that has to do a mad dash for it? These are decisions that you never had in the original XCOM. You could play a lot more conservatively. And in Enemy Within, you have to now make these decisions.
Yeah.
I mean, with the permadeath, which I think was one of the most talked about aspects of the game, that's a really rough choice. I mean, are you anticipating players are just, maybe you have the 2 you really like and everyone else is just a red shirt that's just, just trying to get to that meld as fast as possible?
I expect the old XCOM watchword of, hey, rookie, take point, will be, hey, rookie, go get that canister.
That is happening. That is happening.
I hope a whole new version of stories will arise.
And that's an interesting point, and that kind of goes back to I think what people were experiencing with Enemy Unknown is how you sort of telegraph to the player, A, don't get too close to anybody, right, but also to become comfortable with that not being a fail state, that is acceptable within the game world, and you're just gonna you have to learn to go forward. I mean, that sounds even like more learning that the player has to adjust to in Enemy Within.
Yeah, I definitely think Enemy Within is adding some new wrinkles that players will, as you say, have to readjust to. In Enemy Unknown, there's it's very black and white whether a mission is success or failure. I mean, obviously in a terror mission, you might not do a great job of saving the civilians.
Yeah, I never called any of mine a success, even though I got through them.
Yeah, that looks familiar. I see familiar. But with Enemy Within, we are definitely experimenting with some more nuanced endings to missions. You know, where, hey, you did a great job, you cleared the UFO, but both of the meld canisters self-destructed. Maybe that's going to set you back a little bit if you're trying to head down one of those paths.
And the team did a great job of teaching the new mechanics to the players, too. I mean, we have specific maps, one of them being, hey, this is the new mechanism we're adding, here's how it works. Yeah. And then it's cleanly integrated into your playstyle after that.
Okay, so bio, mechs, punching aliens, obliterating them. Obviously, the aliens are probably going to be stepping up their game, too.
The poor put-upon sectoid, the one who is really scary for the first few missions, and then afterwards you think of him as, oh, well, I'll take care of him. He has a mech suit now, too. So the mechtoid will come, and he is very unamused by what you did to his friends in the first month of the game.
I cannot wait to see that. Are we going to see any adjustments to the Hive in terms of facilities that you can put into it?
Oh yeah, so we added the cybernetics lab, which is where you'll manage all your mech troopers and and upgrade the suits and repair them if they get damaged. That's something we're at. That's a little new concept we're adding. The mech suits can get damaged, and then the genetics lab is where you can review and throw people into the capsule ready for genetic modification. And
there's a fun X-ray mode there, so you can see the different parts of the body you can augment.
When you see somebody's got 2 hearts, you know, it's like they're both in there.
It's one way to avoid permadeath. You have 2 hearts.
Yeah.
You get shot on this one's still beat.
That's the idea.
And then with the XCOM Council, the participating nations, does that stay the same? Are you still trying to keep everyone happy all at the same time and never succeed at that, or?
Pretty much, yeah. You are still ultimately beholden to the council. They are still the primary source of your funding.
And is this an expansion insofar as it actually will draw in your accomplishments from the previous XCOM, or is it standalone in the way that you play it?
I believe it's standalone. The achievements from the original, you mean?
I just mean,
or do you mean actual gameplay?
You're not bringing in characters that you've built up from the original XCOM.
No. It's a new experience. You're going to get hit over the head with a lot of new goodies right off the bat. So while it's still the same familiar universe and gameplay model that fans have come to know and love, you will get new maps right away. You can pretty quickly get to these goodies.
Yeah, the meld shows
meld's right off the bat. So you also can make that choice very quickly of mechs, gene mods, or a blend of both.
Yeah, I mean, you'll also see stuff right, you know, from the main menu. We added some new second wave options for people who like the second wave options.
Tell them about the Sid Meier inspired second wave.
Oh yeah. So Sid came to me and he said, I really feel like the flanking is too binary. And I said, well, this was we were sitting in an airport together, and I said, oh, and he said, yeah, it would be really neat if you're seeing an alien and the alien's in cover, and you know you can't flank him, but there are two places you could shoot him from. It'd be great if it weren't just a choice between those choices weren't so similar. So we put in a notion called aiming angles, which is the closer you are to flanking an alien, the more his cover bonus declines. So now you can, that also, playing with that option on is a little bit more also about a little bit of risk taking, where it's like, wow, I could get that guy's cover bonus down quite a lot if I zoom over to that tree.
But you're taking a risk by exposing yourself as well.
Yes, right. Yes, because what goes for you goes for the aliens on that one too. So, and then finally we did also, the other second wave option we put in was we called Save Scum. So loading the game will reset the random number seed for people who really just want to take that one sniper shot over and over until it hits.
I know that feeling.
We also put in a whole bunch of other quality of life things. One thing we did was we decided to make all the localized voices for all the different international versions of XCOM. We decided to make them accessible to the customization system. So now, when you're customizing your soldier's voice, if he's French, you can have him speak French. I mean, you can have him speak French no matter what he is. But now, for all the languages that we released XCOM in, we realized, hey, we've translated all the dialogue into these other languages, and players really love customizing their soldiers. So if you, on your US version, have a German soldier, you will still have access to the German voices, and you can have all your German soldiers speak German.
Philosophers.
Yeah,
there's your philosopher. Oh, that's right.
For my style of play, let me tell you, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Talk about that player agency. I mean, to actually hear them speak their native tongue, that'd be nice.
So with kind of like all these new toys, punching aliens, making them fly, have the maps gone under some redesign? Have you had to rethink how you're going to play stuff on the map?
Well, when we were putting down when we were getting the maps to support the meld, we definitely took a look at a bunch of stuff. There are a couple of maps that we've tweaked. We've heard some player complaints about maps that have too many exploding cars as cover. This map with the people playing on Impossible is like, I can't beat this map, all my cover explodes. So we've definitely tried to address a little bit here and there. And I guess one way we have done a big update on maps is we're adding a bunch of multiplayer maps. That was something that our multiplayer community really wanted was to have some more multiplayer variety. So we're adding a bunch of multiplayer maps.
It really was a huge accomplishment. This is one of my favorite parts of what the Enemy Within team did. Every map has been touched in some way, whether it's meld or a complete redesign or a complete build from the ground up with brand new assets, where you feel like you're in this completely new world. We had some pretty specific level sets in Enemy Unknown, whether it was urban settings or outside in the wild. But you have some maps now that tell this totally different story narratively now, because it feels like, oh my gosh, I've never been to this particular location before.
Yeah, well,
they've done a phenomenal job with that.
Yeah, so for example, one of the things we wanted to do was we wanted to spice up our UFO maps a little, because most of our UFO maps are in this outdoor setting. And we thought, well, we should put some UFO maps in some other settings. And so we came up with this great Ruins map kit, where now you can have this sort of devastated city with a crashed UFO in it. And it looks great. And I think players will be really pleasantly surprised by when they hit those maps the first time. It's like, wow, this is really unlike any of the other UFO maps that I've done.
There's some cool surprises I want to talk about, but I probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
That I think they'll like.
Well, just having this much more to play with and all the choices I have to make, I'm already excited. When can we hope to play Enemy Within?
When he's done. I don't think we're talking release date at this time, but we'll have more soon, hopefully.
All right. Well, thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.